us yet again for another edition of H.O.R.R.O.R. My name is Immortus X, and I'm bringing you yet another delicious story of horror, romance, and intrigue, brought to you under the watchful eye of the dark side of the Toon. Tonight's morbid little tale is called Murder Castle, originally broadcast in the year 1936. But now, your friends at H.O.R.R.O.R are bringing you an updated version of this delicious tale of terror. Starring the likes of Benjamin Lehman and Christie Robinson, this little tale is bound to shiver your timbers. Lights out, everybody. It is later than you think. Lights Out brings you stories of the supernatural and the supernormal, dramatizing the fantasies and the mysteries of the unknown. We tell you this frankly, so if you wish to avoid the excitement and tension of these imaginative plays, we urge you calmly, but sincerely, to turn off your radio now.
Oh, I tell you, Captain, it just don't make sense. We picked it up walking down the street saying the same thing over and over it again. She's as crazy as they come, I tell you. Listen to her for yourself.
Revenge, 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 revenge.
Yeah, listen to her, Captain. Revenge, revenge, over and over again. Oh, such a young and pretty girl. What could have made her crazy like that? Well, I ask you.
Revenge, 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 revenge.
Yes? Yes, what is it?
I'm looking for a Mr. George Stewart, if you please.
Oh, do you mean about the advertisement?
Yes, that's right. I got here as soon as I could, and
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. As long as you got here. That's all that matters. Come in. Come in.
Oh, thank you.
Just put your suitcase down there. It will be all right.
Thank you.
Now, if you'd come this way.
Thank you.
Just up in here, Miss,
Malone. Ella Malone.
Yes, of course, Miss Malone. Now then, you'll have a chair, please.
Thank you.
Ah, there we are. Now then, Miss Malone, to be perfectly frank with you, I wasn't quite expecting you today.
Oh, I'm truly sorry, Mr. Stewart, but you see, I took the wrong train and I had the hardest time finding the house. I do hope you'll forgive me.
Of course. And don't give it another thought. Promptness may be a virtue, but we can't all be virtuous, now can we? Ah, now then, you're here in answer to my advertisement.
Yes, sir. You wrote me.
Oh, yes, of course. You're the young lady from,
From Cransville.
Oh, yes, Grantsville. Oh, that was Iowa, wasn't it?
Oh, no, sir. Ohio.
Of course, of course. How stupid of me to forget. Yes. Yes, I remember now. I wrote you a letter.
Yes, sir.
Now then, you're the young lady who wanted a position as my secretary, wasn't that it?
Yes, sir. And I do appreciate the opportunity you've given me, sir.
Oh, not at all, not at all. You have my letter with you.
Oh, yes, sir. Right here, sir.
Oh, yes. Orphan Business School. Yes, yes. You'll do very nicely.
I'll do my best, sir.
Now then, your friends knew you came here, of course.
There's no one very much interested, Mr. Stewart.
Oh, come now. A pretty young girl like you. No young beaux, and so on and so on.
No, sir. There's no one. I mean, sir, you can depend on me to give all my attention to my work.
Very commendable. Very commendable indeed. My work, as I wrote you, is entirely confidential. My philanthropies are to a great extent entirely sub rosa. No fuss, no feathers. You understand what I mean?
Oh, yes, sir.
And as my secretary, my affairs will be entirely in your hands. My checking account, my finances, and so on and so on. Entirely in your care.
I understand, sir.
It's quite a responsibility, and you're quite a young woman. And as I wrote you, the bank,
Oh, yes, sir, I understand. The bond, I brought the money for it.
Oh, you have.
Yes, sir. $300. I've got it right here, sir.
Fine. That's very businesslike. Yes, indeed. I'll give you a receipt, and there will be.
Mr. Stewart.
Yes. My pen. Yes, here we are.
My money. I will get it back from the bank any time I leave your employ. I mean, when you want me to.
Of course. Of course. Now then, here you are, received of Miss Nellie Malone.
Ella.
Yes, of course. Ella. Memory isn't quite what it used to be. That's why I need a good secretary.
I'm very good at remembering things.
Oh, are you? Now then, there we are. I guess this receipt is in good order. Received of Miss Ella Malone, $300 to be deposited with the Merchants Bank as surety bond and to be returned to said Ella Malone upon request. And there's my signature. Now then, how's that?
I'm sure that will do very well, sir. And I want you to know I do appreciate your giving me this chance to...
Now, I assure you, the honor is mine. Giving a youngster an opportunity to rise in the business world, it's little enough to do.
You're very kind.
Now then, you've got my receipt. But I
I beg your pardon.
Not at all.
My purse, I have it right here. I'm sorry.
Well, I understand the excitement of your trip, and...
Here it is, Mr. Stewart. You see? I had it already in an envelope. If you'll open it...
Oh, not at all. Bank can do that when I send it to them in the morning, but...
But...
My dear Miss Malone, if you say there's $300 in that envelope, then that's all that's necessary as far as I'm concerned. Now just put your purse down there and I'll show you through your new home.
Yes, Mr. Stewart.
Now, we'll go right up these stairs.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you'll find I have quite a place here. 3 stories high and every inch of it my own design.
Rather dark.
Oh, careful now, careful.
I'm all right.
Well, you mustn't hurt yourself. Hardly the way to start a new job. Now then, here we are. Take you to your room and there you'll be.
My suitcase.
Oh, no, never mind. Bring it up later. No hurry. Right down the hall.
Yes, sir.
We got a nice room for you. Very nice. Fact of the matter is, you can choose any room on this floor.
But Mr. Stewart, your daughters.
Daughters?
Yes, won't they object? You just said any room.
Oh, yes, my daughters. I did write you about them, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Well, never mind about them. They're upstairs, studying. Now, right here. I suggest that you take this room, at least for tonight.
Whatever you say, Mr. Stewart.
Get the light on. Now, there we are. Nice, isn't it?
Yes, it's very nice.
Go on in, look around.
Well,
Go right ahead. It's going to be your room for quite some time to come, you know.
All right.
Now then, go in further. It's going to be all yours after all. Make sure you like it.
I've never had such a large room. If you've got one a little smaller...
On the contrary, my dear Miss Malone, you'll find this one small enough. Perhaps a little too small. Oh, yes, indeed. Entirely too small.
But Mr. Stewart... Why did you... Mr. Stewart! Mr. Stewart, why did you lock the door? Mr. Stewart! Mr. Stewart, why have you shut me in here? Mr. Stewart, please! Please answer me! Mr. Stewart, please let me out of here! Mr. Stewart, let me out of here! Let me out! Let me out! It's getting dark in here! Let me out!
Yes, Miss Nord. There's no doubt in my mind at all that you're the very person I want to employ as my housekeeper.
I'm very glad to hear that, Mr. Stewart.
Of course, the matter of being housekeeper of a place as large as mine calls for definite qualities. You understand, of course?
I always do my best, sir.
And one certainly can't ask for more than that. No, indeed.
Your wife. Maybe she'd like to talk to me?
Wife? Oh, yes, yes, of course. I wrote you about my wife, didn't I?
Yes, sir.
Oh, well, my wife is out shopping. As soon as she returns, you'll meet her. I'm sure she'll find your recommendations as satisfactory as I did.
I've always wanted to work in a fine house.
About money.
Oh, any salary you want to pay me, Mr. Stewart, is all right. I just want a chance to show you how good I can do your work.
Very commendable. Yes, indeed, very commendable. But we must agree on a salary. I'm the sort of man who has respect for money and expects a similar respect in others. Oh, yes. Speaking of money, you'll be wanting to open a new bank account, I suppose.
Bank account?
Yes. It's my principle that everyone employed by me should have a savings account. It builds character. I'll open an account for you in the morning, and you can transfer any other bank accounts you have back in your hometown up to my bank. Convenience, you know.
Oh, no, sir. I haven't any money in the bank back home. I took it all out.
Oh.
It wasn't much anyway. What was left of Father's insurance money after my mother died.
Yes. Now then, supposing you leave all your things here, and we'll go look over the house. Here, right through this door.
I'll be glad to be working in such a big house.
Right this way. Oh, yes. Quite an establishment here. Designed it all myself.
I'll work hard, Mr. Stewart.
Yes, I'm certain you will. Now then, right down these stairs. I'll show you everything downstairs first.
You have a washing machine?
Yes. Everything modern, everything convenient. High, wide basement. Ah, there you are. Now watch yourself. It's just a little dark down here this time of day.
Oh, it is a big basement, all right. I could hang up plenty of washing down here.
Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. If you'll come this way.
You building something down here?
Building? Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. Always building. Always changing. Always remodeling. Change. 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 My hobby. Always changing things.
Hard to keep clean.
Now, don't you worry about that. Everything will be cleaned up in short order. Bags of sand and concrete mixer. Everything will be out of the way. Won't bother you at all. No, not at all. Right this way.
You're making more rooms?
Yes, indeed. With nice, clean concrete floors. Here, look at this one.
Kind of dark.
Come on. Get closer. It's all my own work. Oh, you see, the floor's too wet. I like concrete, don't you?
Yes, it is clean.
Yes, covers everything. You know how deep that concrete is? 3 feet deep. Yes, ma'am, 3 feet deep. And I just poured it an hour before you honored me with your presence. 3 feet. Well, that'll make a mighty thick slab of stone, won't it, Miss Nord? Thick enough to cover you.
Oh.
Yes, indeed, a fist to the point of the jaw is still a most effective soporific. Oh, you're quite a heavy woman, my dear Miss Nord. Up you go! Ah! Face down in wet concrete. What an unusual bed you lie in, Miss Nord. Sinking down and down and down. Oh, and the concrete will harden, and well, I guess I'll have to get myself a new housekeeper.
The local news of the week. At midnight Saturday, the telephones in this city will be changed to dial service, and all telephone numbers will be changed. Late this week, new directories will be delivered. Here are a few important suggestions for the use of your dial telephone. Before calling any number, first secure the number from your new directory. Then remove the receiver and listen for the dial tone. It sounds like this. That tone indicates everything is ready for your call. With the receiver off the hook, dial the desired number. For example, suppose you want to dial 23650. Dial each numeral in this manner, pulling the dial around to the finger stop each time. Be sure to allow the dial to freely return to its normal position. And this is the ringing signal.
Hello? Hello. Is this the employment agency? Oh, this is Mr. Stewart, Mr. George Stewart. I'm interested in employing a nurse for my child. Someone preferably unattached who can live here with my wife and myself. No, just send me their names, addresses, and references, and so on, and I'll send you a check for the services. My address is 424 East 7th. Yes, just their names and addresses. Yes, I'll send you a check. Goodbye. Yes, I'll be there. Yes, what is it?
Is Mr. Stewart in?
Oh, yes, indeed. Why won't you come in? I'm Mr. Stewart.
Thank you.
You're answering in regard to...
Secretarial position? You wrote me a letter.
Oh, yes, indeed. Won't you step in here, please?
Thank you.
Now, you sit there and I'll sit here and we'll get better acquainted. Put your suitcase any place. Now then, I'm afraid I didn't quite get your name.
Ray? Betty Ray. You wrote me.
Oh, yes, of course. I remember you distinctly. Now then, you're from,
Grayston. I hope that everything is the way you said it would be in your letter, Mr. Stewart. I mean, I hope you haven't changed your mind about me.
Oh, not at all, not at all. I'm in definite need of a good secretary. My philanthropies, you know. And you're unquestionably just the person to take matters in hand. Yes, indeed.
I'm glad to hear that.
Now then, you have my letter to you? Just to sort of refresh my memory on the circumstances, don't you know?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't bring it with me.
Oh, well, then suppose you tell me a little more about yourself and all that's happened. Mother and father see you off the train, I suppose.
Oh, no, sir. It's the way I wrote you, Mr. Stewart. I'm quite alone.
Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. Well, I'm sure you'll find everything here quite to your satisfaction. Restful. Quiet. I have quite a place here, you know. I'll show you around in a few moments.
That'll be very interesting.
Ah, yes. But first, there's the matter of the surety bond. I wrote you about that, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Oh, yes, I felt quite certain of that. You understand, of course, that this money will be returned to you by the bank at the same time you wish to leave my employment. Fair is fair, that's what I always say. Yes, indeed.
Mr. Stewart, I was wondering,
Yes?
have you had many secretaries?
Why do you ask that?
I want to know.
But why do you ask that question?
And what happens to them after you hire them? Tell me what happens to them.
Young woman, who are you?
My name is Betty Malone.
Malone.
Betty Malone. My sister Ella came here a month ago about a job, and I want to know where she is. You hear me? I want to know where she is.
I don't think I quite know what you're talking about.
Why do you lie to me? Why do you lie to me? She was here. She was.
Now then, what makes you so sure?
A letter. You wrote her, the first one. I waited a whole month, and then I came here. As soon as I saw you, I thought something was wrong, and now I know there is. My sister Ella, where is she? You've got to tell me.
And what if I tell you again that I don't know what you're talking about?
I'll go to the police. They'll make you tell the truth. I know she came here. I know she did. Why do you laugh? Why?
Because you're being a very foolish young lady. Very foolish. There is no need to get excited. Of course your sister's here. Very happy to.
She's here.
Yes, and very happy too.
Oh, then take me to her. Oh, please take me to her.
All right. There's no need to get excited. Of course I'll take you to her. Oh, I intended to all along. I'm just having a little joke with you.
Is she all right?
Of course. Oh, now then, come right along with me. Come right along with me. Oh, yes, she's right up here. Been with me for over a month.
Why didn't she write? Why didn't she tell me?
Now then, right down this hall and you can ask her for yourself.
This isn't a trick, is it?
My dear young lady, you have easily the most suspicious mind of anyone I've met. I'm quite a helpless old man. You always have recourse, as you put it, to the police. Here we are, right in this room.
What's she doing in there?
It's her room. She's slightly indisposed. Go right in.
All right. It's locked.
Well, knock on the door and she'll open it for you.
Ella? It's Betty. Let me in, darling. It's Betty.
Oh, must be asleep.
Ella, please. It's Betty. Your sister, Betty.
Well, now, certainly is a tight sleeper.
But she can't be sleeping. Open the door. Please, open the door.
All right, all right. No reason to get so excited. I've got the key right here.
Quickly, open the door. Quickly.
No, don't excite yourself needlessly. There we are. Go ahead. You open the door.
Ella, it's Betty. Ella, what?
Now then, my dear Betty, we understand each other clearly, don't we?
Ella. Dad.
Nothing like a complete understanding, now is there?
Ella. Dead.
Well, it wasn't so difficult. I shut the door, sealed it, and nature took care of itself.
Mother in heaven.
But she died quite easily, much easier than others.
Why?
You mean, why do I do it? Well, it's a very simple explanation, young woman. This is my business.
Business.
Yes, my business. Some men make their fortune in stocks, and some in bonds, and some in business. This is my business.
Why?
Why? Why is any business conducted? Profit, my dear. And I've made quite a neat little profit. Oh, yes, and a very safe one, too.
Ella, my sweet.
Yes, and you're the very first to come wandering about looking for any of my customers. The first, and I assure you the last. Yes, 30 women have come in my front door.
Ella.
31, including you and Ella. Come along. I'll tell you all about them. You will find it most instructive. Yes, indeed.
Don't hold my arm.
But I must. These corridors, they twist and turn. Yes, it's best I hold on to your arm. Get lost easily around this house. Oh, my most interesting house.
Where are you taking me?
Yes, there were 30 before you. A most interesting array. I used to read the want ads in small-town papers, and then I'd write letters. Oh, most interesting letters. I needed a secretary, or a housekeeper, or a nurse. Excellent salary. Unusual accommodations.
Somehow, Ella, I knew this had happened.
Yes, indeed. And they bought all of their worldly belongings with them, generally in a suitcase. A little here and a little there. Oh, I assure you, it has been most profitable. Now, this room, for example.
No! No, don't open that door!
Oh! No, perhaps it would be better not to. The one in here came to be my housekeeper. Let me see. How long ago was it? Well, no matter. She came as a housekeeper. And after she went into retirement in that room, I found her suitcase, and inside such interesting bonds. I'll tell you, my eyes fairly popped from my head. Ah, yes. It's the uncertainty that makes my little business so very fascinating.
You killed 30 women.
Now, let's go down a little way. No, down here. Oh, don't make me pull you along.
You killed 30 women.
Oh, it wasn't difficult. Most women are fools, anxious to believe what they want to believe.
They came here for life, and you gave them death.
Oh, you're a smart. Oh, that's why I'm even bothering to show you my work. I never did the others. And showing you around won't do harm. It won't be talking long.
A thing like you. And 30 women died.
Now in this room, let me open it and show you.
No! No, don't make me look.
You see, there's no reason for excitement. It's an empty room. That's what she thought when she went in here. And then I pressed this button, so. And the trap door flopped open as she stood on it, and down she went. Down, down. Guess into what? A pit of lime.
A thing like you alive.
Oh, yes. I tried out so many different ways of killing them. And you wonder why they'll never find me out? I'll tell you why. Because I'm too smart for all of them. Because I figured out everything in order, logically. Oh, not perfect crimes. No, nothing infantile. But just cleverness in choosing the women I do business with, and an equal cleverness in doing away with them. Ah, yes, indeed.
You and my dear Stella, dead.
Ella! What does she matter? Just another. You've got to listen to me. No one else has ever known it, never whispered it before, and never again. Why speak of Ella when I'm telling you about my cleverness?
It isn't right for you to live.
You're not the judge of living and dying in these places. I am! Now then, what I was telling you. Oh, yes. Why they'll never get me. Why my business will go on and on until I have made more money than... Well, no matter that. I want to tell you how I did it.
Ella, somehow, seeing you like that, it's done things in my head.
No corpus delicti, and if there is one, no evidence of violence. There, that's the secret.
Well, you're very frightened, sister.
A barrel of quicklime, there's no corpus delicti after that, I tell you. And not when you bury them in a slab of concrete. Oh, yes, there's the secret.
If I could have only been with you, little sister.
And now this room. Let me show it to you. And I think this will be your room, my dear.
So very frightened.
You see the door. Ah, airtight. Airtight, yes, indeed. I'll open it. That room. Amazing sight, isn't it? No doors, no windows. Oh, but then, there's quite a scarcity of windows in my house. Oh, haven't you noticed that?
If I could have helped you, Ella.
Oh, but this is a clever room. I'll shut you up inside it, and then I'll close the door and press this button here, like this. You hear that, little one? You hear that? Pumping, pumping, pumping. And guess what it's pumping?
Oh, Ella. Ella, my head.
Air! You hear me pumping the air out of the room. Yes, that's clever, isn't it? Oh, you breathe, and soon there'll be nothing there to breathe, and then you'll die. And if the police do find your body, no mark of violence. Nothing but asphyxiation, a most mysterious death, they'll say. And in time, they'll decide it's all quite natural. Embolism, heart attack. Oh, they'll think up a fancy name to clear their files. Yes, indeed. They always do.
It isn't right for him to live, is it, Ella?
Now first, off with the pump. And now, my dear, I think you better step inside. Quickly now, so I can close the door and get about my other work. Quickly, I tell you.
No, wait.
Wait for what?
I want to give you something.
What can you give me that doesn't belong to me already?
This.
Gone.
Get in there. In the room.
Gone. You had a gun in your purse all the time.
My father's. I bought it for the man who... Ella! Get in the room!
No, what? What?
Get in there or I'll press the trigger. Get in. I'll kill you.
No. Don't shoot. I'm a harmless old man. I was only fooling. I wouldn't hurt you.
Revenge. It's right to revenge, isn't it, Ella? He said to press this button, Ella. The pump. It's running, Ella. Listen to it. It's killing him the way he killed. Revenge, revenge, revenge. It's right to revenge, isn't it, little sister? Right to revenge, right to revenge, right to revenge, right to revenge, right to revenge. It's right to revenge.
Yeah. It's going out. Shut off that motor out there! Do you hear me? Shut off the motor! It's pumping out the air! Pumping it out! The pipe. The air's going out. I can't reach the pipe. Shut it off, you devil out there! Shut it off! It'll kill me! Kill me! Shut it off! I'll give you anything. Anything you want, just shut off the bulb! I can't die. I won't die. I'll tear the walls down! Let me out of here! Air! A man's got to have air! Let me out! Let me out! Breath. My ears can't hear. Drums breaking. Blood in my mouth. My eyes. No air. Bleeding. Air. Give me air. A breath of air. 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 Give me air. Give me air.
Revenge. 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 Revenge.
Yeah, listen to her, Captain. Revenge, 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 revenge. Such a young and pretty girl. What could have made her crazy like that? What, I ask ye?
Yes, a wonderful story brought to you yet again from your friends at H.O.R.R.O.R. Gives one pause to find a job, no? Perhaps working from home isn't such a bad thing. I do hope you enjoyed our little tale. Join us for our next horrific production entitled 4 Fingers and a Thumb. Oh yes, you're going to love it, and if you really love it, don't forget to like us here and to find us on the Book of Faces. That was delicious.
That was fucking awesome, guys.